In the chilling twilight of the 18th and 19th centuries, as society cast its gaze toward advancing medical knowledge and the human anatomy, a dark economy flourished in the shadows. It was a time when the dead were not always allowed their eternal rest, and the graveyards were hunting grounds for those who plied their trade in the macabre. Today, we delve into the shadowy world of grave robbers and body snatchers, individuals who turned final resting places into stepping stones for the living, a phenomenon that some have poetically dubbed the undead economy. In this era, medical science was burgeoning, and with it, the demand for anatomical specimens. The law could scarcely fathom the burgeoning frontier of medical education, and thus supplied insufficient means for anatomy schools to obtain bodies through legal channels. This disparity between need and legality gave rise to a ghastly profession that capitalized on human remains. Central to this gritty enterprise were the body snatchers, also known as resurrectionists. These men, and occasionally women, exhibited a chilling pragmatism in their nightly forays. They would slip silently into graveyards under the mask of darkness, armed with little more than shovels, sacks, and a fearsome resolve. Their targets? Freshly buried corpses, the most valuable of which were often sold for upwards of 10 guineas, a small fortune in those times. One might wonder why the law turned a blind eye to such transgressions. The answer lies in the legal systems of the time, which regarded the desecration of a grave as a misdemeanor, while the theft of the body itself was considered a legal gray area. This loophole allowed body snatchers to thrive, perpetuating a cycle of fear among the living and desecration among the dead. Across Britain and America, the unpopular trade caused considerable uproar among communities. Vigilant societies sprang up to protect loved ones even in death. Ingenious grave-robbing deterrents emerged. Iron cages known as mort safes, spring-loaded guns, or even watchmen patrolling the graveyards. Yet these measures only occasionally stemmed the tide. The profit incentive was simply too strong for many to resist. The infamous London Burkers, William Burke and William Hare, took this grim business a step further. Instead of burying the corpse before retrieval, they resorted to murder, supplying fresh bodies to Dr. Robert Knox in Edinburgh. Their grim efficiency came to light in 1828, culminating in Burke's execution and coining the term burking to describe their ghastly method. Public outrage following their capture ushered in change. Enter the Anatomy Act of 1832 in Britain, a legislative turning point. The law granted greater access to unclaimed bodies, particularly those from workhouses and hospitals, directly to medical schools. This legislation significantly undermined the profitability of body snatching, effectively putting many resurrectionists out of business. It was a victory for moral sensibility, although it did shine a stark light on how society dealt with its indigent dead. Another marker in this dark chronicle transpired in America with the 1788 Doctors' Riot in New York City. After an alleged sighting of surgeons studying a recently deceased body thought to be snatched from a grave, tensions boiled over between medical students and the public. The clash showcased the controversial intersection between burgeoning medical science and societal values, leaving several dead and numerous wounded in its wake. Reflecting on this shadowy history, one sees not just a story of crime and punishment, but of progress amidst moral ambiguity. From these literal tombs of knowledge, modern medical understanding bloomed, albeit at an ethical cost. Grave robbers and body snatchers, consciously or unconsciously, laid bricks on the road to anatomical enlightenment. Today, we possess a keen insight into anatomy, underpinned by ethical practices and strict legislation, alongside technological advancements like digital simulations and virtual dissection. But the era of body snatchers remains an unnerving reminder of a time when ethical lines were blurred for the sake of understanding life and death. And so, as night falls and we turn the key on this chapter of the past, let us remember, the tales of grave robbers and body snatchers are more than quixotic stories of horror. They reflect a period where humanity grappled with the intricacies of progress and morality, forever casting a shadow over the pursuit of knowledge.